What is the septum nose ring theory? Well, according to the experts at knowyourmeme.com, it is a way of allegedly spotting feminists, man-haters, and perpetual victims, with the whole thing orbiting around septum piercings or nose rings. Now you know me, I'd never generalize against people as a whole, or say that women with nose rings behave in a particular way. That's not me. However, as we all know, despite only making up 19% of women with piercings, they are responsible for over 75% of TikTok crash outs. Meaning, we tapped into something here. Which this whole topic, it's perfect for me to cover because I'm neutral on this subject matter. Because truth be told, I find women with dyed hair and piercings to be hot. I mean, why do you think in my woman tier list video, I put emos and goth girls in A tier? But even though I have an affinity for them, I'm blessed with the wisdom of Solomon to know that they are like beautiful blue poisonous dart frogs. Beautiful to the eyes, but toxic. Which is to say that they're crazy. But why? Well, I'm going to explain that in this video, and on top of that, I will even tell you how to get yourself your very own goth and emo girl that is not insane. I know, it sounds too good to be true, but I will deliver, so watch to the end of the video. But as for why they're crazy, I have a hypothesis, specifically about the septum nose ring, because hot take, I don't think that all nose rings are indicative of a crazy woman, because I've met quite a few women who have nose rings, and I don't think that they're insane. Maybe they get it on one side, or they just have one, like you can see on here. I don't think we can generalize all nose ring types like that. But the septum nose ring, that takes a very special kind of person to get it. The type of person that says, I don't give a f*** how other people see me. I want it, so I'm gonna get it. That is their entire mentality. In fact, the more pushback that they get, the more that they want to do it. And there are a couple of traits that become immediately apparent. One, the lack of impulse control. They act on their emotions much more without self-restraint, and they also don't care how other people view them. Their whole mentality is, I want it, and I don't care how you view me about it. In fact, if you view me poorly because of this superficial thing, that's good. I don't want you in my life. I repelled you off. I'm repelling off the bad people with this nose ring. I'm ridding myself of the superficial people in my life. That's how they view themselves. And from all of this, you get a strong whiff of rebellion. A rebellion against the people in their lives that try to force them to conform. And they're also rebellious against the more dominant culture, which is one of the reasons why they're left-wing. Because for a lot of these people, they haven't come to their beliefs because they've deeply thought about it. But rather, a lot of their beliefs are simply a negative reaction to the dominant culture. They are products of their environment. And you have two choices as a product of your environment: conform to the culture or rebel against it. Both are reactions to your environment. I mean, why do you think so many of these people that look like this have daddy issues? They're rebelling against their right-wing Christian parents. I mean, do you think it's a coincidence? No, it's because they wanted to oppose their parents as an expression, a statement to the world that they have free will and they have autonomy over their own lives. This shows that they're not simply a product of their own environment. Yet ironically, the very rebellion itself is a product of their environment. They're blindly reacting to things outside of their own control. And because of this, they tend to be less self-aware than most people around them. The more that they view themselves as agents of free will, the less self-aware they generally are. But going back to the septum nose ring, the reason why there's this stereotype of these unstable feminists with nose rings, they're crashing out online, it's because there's a combination of traits we're seeing. They're more likely to be impulsive, they don't care how other people view them, and they rebel against the people around them and society at large. Meaning, when they're unhappy, they're angry about something, they don't care to hide it. They're much more likely to show it. They're more likely to have a public outburst. If they feel like screaming or doing whatever they want, they will, because they don't care about you or the people around them. If they have a public freakout, it's only bad if you care about how other people view you, especially if you post it online. They'll scream and lose their minds if they believe it gets them what they want. And that's my thoughts on the septum nose ring theory. Is it valid? I think there's a lot of truth to it, and I think this is why they act in this way. And that's it. Also, I have not forgotten, I'm a man of my word, and here's the secret to getting your very own goth and emo girl that is mentally stable. There are a couple of steps you have to follow. 1. Find a normal, stable girl that is generic. Step 2, get her as your girlfriend. Step 3, take her clothes shopping to get her dressed up how you want, whether that be emo or goth. And step 4, get her to put on the makeup, dye her hair, put on the piercings or whatever you want, and that way you have your very own goth and emo girl that is mentally stable. This way you can get a normal girl, turn her into a goth, and all of a sudden these things that would otherwise be red flags, they instantly turn into green flags because she's only that way for you, and you don't have to worry about her being crazy. Ain't that amazing? Because in the end, I don't think there's anything immoral about getting your hair dyed, whether that be pink, blue, or red, or whatever, or dressing up in a certain way, as long as it's modest. What we really should focus on is why they behave in certain ways. If someone's a goth girl because of daddy issues, that's bad. But if she's a goth girl because you asked her to be one, that's a green flag. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope this helps you out, champs. Go get yourself a goth girl. If you found use out of this video, be sure to subscribe. And as always, I hope you have a good one.